Good day, everyone, and welcome back to APP 002, English for Academic and Professional Purposes. Today in our APP 002, we will be having module number 17. It is all about using emotional triggers in a position paper. But first, let us look at our lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify the types of emotional appeals and give examples of emotional appeals. Let's start with this one. Let's have the three modes of persuasion identified by Aristotle. Looking at any act where a speaker tries convincing another person or group, we might see first someone arguing at a point. From debating in school to selling merchandise on TV, persuaders state a case to win over an audience in order for the latter to do something. Aristotle identified that the art of persuasion consisted of three parts. First, we have pathos, which means emotion or suffering. Second, logos, which means logic. And the third one is ethos, which means authority. Now, since our topic is all about using emotional triggers, we will be dealing with pathos. Pathos involves delivering the argument in a way that appeals to the audience's emotions. Emotional appeal is a method of persuasion that is designed to create an emotional response. It is considered as fallacies or errors in reasoning because they manipulate emotions in an audience but might become effective if done right, especially in writing a position paper. Now we have here four types of emotional appeals according to McWhorter in 2001. First, we have appeal to common folk. Second, false authority. Third, name-calling or ad hominem. And then the last one is association. First, let's have appeal to common folk. In place of evidence, attempting to establish a connection to the audience based on being a regular person just like each of them. Then suggesting that your proposition is something that all common folk believe or should accept. Let's look at this example. If we vote student A as the president of our classroom, everything will be okay. Student A came from a very poor family just like most of us, so he can surely empathize with us. Now this is an example of appeal to common folk because one convinces the students to vote for student A for the sole reason that he came from a poor family just like the majority in the classroom. However, this characteristic does not really give an assurance that student A can lead his classmates, right? Just like how politicians got us. Next, we have false authority. In here, a person speaks as expert on something on which he or she has no expertise, using an alleged authority as evidence in your argument when the authority is not really an authority on the facts relevant to the argument. Let's try to look at these pictures as our example. Well, neither of them are experts of the field they tried to represent, right? Next, we have name-calling or ad hominem, short for argumentum ad hominem, meaning argument against the person. It is an attack or an insult on the person rather than directly addressing the person's reasons. Name-calling uses labels with negative meanings to cast one's opponent in a bad light. This fallacy occurs when instead of addressing someone's argument or position, you irrelevantly attack the person or some aspect of the person who is making the argument. Now try to look at these pictures as our example. Last, we have association. While association is simply done by creating a link between one thing or idea and another one that people have a positive or negative feelings for. Now we have an example here. Mercurius Shoes is all about success and sharing your success with other people. It is an example of association because the item above connects the shoe brand to an ideal concept which is success and uses this as a marketing strategy.